Hey, it's Topher right here on Geek Public Radio. Guess what? We are back at you live, having a great time. We are in studio this time, finally. And guess what? I broke my own rules. But that's not going to let us deter us. We're going to be talking about Activision. We're going to be talking about EA. We're going to be talking about the 5 games that we're looking forward to this year and a lot more. So stick with us.
You're listening to the GPR podcast, where two old guys, talk about new games, movies, most things geeky, and generally be old in front of your eyes. Not cool. Now, here's Topher and Crazy Chris, being all old.
Yeah, all right. So we're here. We're going to be talking about some fun stuff. He just loves that intro. He loves that intro.
I'm literally a voice actor, and you got somebody else to do it to make fun of me.
Well, no, we need to have different voices on the thing. You can't just be me and you.
I'm like 37 different voices. I'm at least 4 personalities. My doctor says so.
But
what's up, Geek Nation? Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I'm Crazy Chris. That's Topher over there.
Yes.
Hi, Topher. And we are so excited to be back in studio with all of you lovely ladies and gentlemen. Some of you may not be
you
as lovely.
Gentlemen.
Yeah, say, God rest you lovely gentlemen, right? Isn't that how it goes? I'm jazzed, actually, to be back in the studio. Like, you have no idea. I really am. I love this. It's the table. It's my table.
I just got to get used
microphone. I got my headphone. I can hear.
I just got to get used to that the new mic does not sit in a cradle.
Yeah.
So this is what you get to hear if it gets bumped.
Yeah, be careful about that. Like, mine's in a cradle. And I'm like, yeah, I like it. And the mic's in the cradle at the chime. Wait a minute. Can't do that. YouTube will ban us for saying the word. Anyways, so yeah, we're going to be talking to you guys about some fun stuff. We've got our 5 of the favorite games that we kind of composed the list of games that have been announced at least as being released in the 2022 year that we're excited about. Some Activision news, things like that. So we do appreciate you guys sticking around, taking your Saturday evening. Hopefully you got nothing else going on, getting you warmed up before you go out and have a kick-ass party or something like that, of course, without us, because we didn't get the invite. And for all you lovely people out there, thank you for joining us. And if you would be so kind, roundhouse kick that like button. I'm not even gonna tell people. I want you to roundhouse kick it. Jump up off your just out of your chair, roundhouse kick your computer or phone to hit the like button. And if you can't do that, you're not a real fan. So Roadhouse. But yeah, do that and then hit that little ringy-lingy-dingy button, the little belly button, so that way you guys can.
Now I have that song stuck in my head. Thank you very much.
Which one? Keep their heads ringing or ring my bell?
Both.
Yes.
I it was ring my bell, and then when you said keep their head ringing, because I literally just programmed that new station.
And by the way, when you showed it to me, because by the way, guys, we got a new music station out too. So on top of Geek Public Radio playing you all the classic, amazing new hits, we've actually got The Mix by Geek Public Radio, including rap, alternative, all kinds of old stuff and new stuff that you guys can check out. So make sure that you go to themixx.com.
No, themixx.online.
Oh, themixx.online. I am so sorry. Themixx, MIXX.online. And you guys can check out the new station that we just programmed. So actually, that was Topher. I had nothing to do with that. Like none whatsoever.
No, well, I was sitting here thinking, it was like, we were, I'll be honest with you, I was cleaning house. And when I clean house, a lot of the things that are involved is finding discs that back in the day when I didn't have the ability to put things on, you didn't have like hard drives that were a terabyte. You had to burn things on data discs.
That was a thing, ladies and gentlemen.
And
as much as I hate the intro, we are that old.
I found
got a Betamax around here somewhere.
Yeah, I do.
See,
and an 8-track player in the other room. No, but I have I found literally 10,000 songs on all of these discs. I started dumping them in, and I was like, I'm adding a lot of them to
Napster's so upset with you right now.
I'm like adding all of this music.
There's another dated reference.
Funny enough, that was one of the things that was on like one of the clips or whatever. It's like, hey, like I'm an entrepreneur. Oh, so that means you're broke, huh? That whole scene where it's like, no, I invented Napster. So and so invented Napster. Yeah, hi, glad to meet you.
I'm broke.
Like, whoa, I just had sex with a guy who invented Napster. That was the line from the
No, I got you.
my brain. I went on a
you have
tangent.
you have ADHD brain just like I do. It's fine. That's why we get along so well, and that's why we fight so well. Because
I don't think we've actually fought.
No. Fuck you, Topher.
That was loud.
Sorry. I've been using my phone mic for so long and I've had to project my voice so often that I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be loud.
Yeah, it's not stage voice.
Not at all. No, like I have to tone it down, and I've missed you so much, microphone. You have no idea. I like the setup that I have at the house. It works. It's fine, but yeah, the studio so much better. We put all this work into it, and not to use it was criminal. So here we are. Anyways,
it's a true criminal.
It is. What are you staring at over there? Like you have my full attention right now.
I don't know why. I am doing all of the prep that I should have done, but I didn't do because I was trying to get everything because we hadn't been using the studio for so long.
I did spring it on him like last minute. I was like, "Hey, I'm going to the studio. We're doing studio tonight. You can have guests, right? You're out of quarantine. Just do this."
Yeah, no, like he was like, "I got to do this, yada yada yada."
All right. Well, so while you're looking that up, all right. So
I'm not looking anything. I'm literally just trying.
Not looking at it while you're finishing your prep.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, I'm going to talk about the 5 games that I'm most looking forward to because I'm super excited. And the first one is I actually caught this trailer the night. It was a demo trailer for Final Fantasy Origins, I believe Stranger of Paradise. I almost said Stranger in Paradise, and I was like, I don't think that's right. Stranger of Paradise, and it's actually the prequel to every Final Fantasy. Now, if any of you fans out there know anything about Crazy Chris, I'm a huge RPG buff. I love strategy games, but I also love first-person shooters. I'm a huge proponent of the Fallout universe, things like that. So, for me, I got this news, and I was looking at this trailer, and I was actually watching YouTube. I was going to bed, and I had YouTube on, and I was sitting there flipping through, what do I want to watch? And this trailer came on, and I sat the 3.5, 4 minutes through the whole trailer. Like I never do that. I'm like, skip video, skip. Like, yeah, it's terrible. I even know the secret to skip the unskippable videos.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
I have this feeling that I need to sit this way to make it look better for you.
But if you do that, you don't feel like you're talking to the people. Yeah,
right.
We've gotten so used and accustomed to it. Like I keep having to look at the camera, so that way I'm addressing the crowd. But at the same time, I'm looking at you because I'm talking to you and with you, so it becomes very confusing.
Yeah.
For you guys at home trying to follow along, don't worry about all that.
We're crazy.
Yeah, and that's hence the moniker Crazy Chris. But Final Fantasy Origins, I'm exceptionally excited about that. It should be really, really, really cool to get to be able to sit down and play the Origins. What are you pointing at? You're pointing at stuff. I can't see things. He's pointing at things, people. Make him stop pointing at things. Anyways, so Final Fantasy Origins, Stranger of Paradise, that's going to be releasing in March. I think it's March 18th. That should be an absolutely phenomenal game. So thankfully, it does launch after my second favorite game on this list, which is going to be not second favorite, but one of the other games I'm looking forward to, which is Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, because I will be taking a break from my standard multiplayer gaming to be playing some Final Fantasy Origins. Although I did find out, and this was the most exciting to me, it is a multiplayer-driven game. Multiplayer-driven game. So you can play Final Fantasy with your friends online, and I'm super excited about that. And it's not garbage Final Fantasy 14. I'm sorry, I know you guys like it, but I can't. I tried to play it. You guys bullied me off of it. I don't want to play it anymore. I just can't.
Bullied off of it?
I did. I got bullied off of it. I mean, it's really what happened. I was playing it. We were having a good time. And then because the class that I was using, and I can't remember what it was, a Berserker class or the Barbarian. No, it was Berserker. I'm pretty sure is what it was. It was supposed to be a tank class. And it doesn't end up working that way because of the way they programmed it. They jacked it all up. So none of his tank skills were working. So I couldn't pull any aggro. And I'm getting bullied by people who were like
14 years old.
Tremendously higher level than me. And they probably were 14-year-olds. I got bullied offline by 14-year-olds, but it got to the point where they were yelling at me for not tanking. They're like, "Do your job," and I'm like, "Marauder." That's what it was. They're like, "Do your job." Yeah, thanks. And I'm like, I can't do my job because Square didn't do their job. Like, sorry.
Well, no, that's the thing.
You joined this dungeon knowing that I was a marauder. It says it right in the thing. One marauder. If you don't want to join it, don't join it. But don't yell at me because I can't do what the game is supposed to let me do.
Right, but no, that is one of the things that if you get.
Anyways, that's my rant about 14.
You get used to in the MMO RPG settings when you're doing dungeon. That's why I don't dungeon. That's why I don't do any of that stuff.
Right.
Is because I straight up you have to know your class inside and out, and you have to know how to tank. If you're tanking, you have to be able to do the moment that you lose aggro and other people who aren't supposed to be getting hit get hit, they start jumping your ass. Like if you're a healer and you're in a thing, if you're not keeping up with the heals, they fucking boot you out. DPS is the safest route for me.
Well, sure, because damage is consistent. It's not.
You literally,
it's easy to manipulate.
Yeah, you literally just sit back at a distance. Because that's why I like to play the huntards. In that's what everybody calls them. WoW.
All of our demonetization today.
Because they're dumb. You just spam buttons and you do ridiculous amounts of damage.
Oh, sure.
And you can just sit back at a distance and you know, like volley, ice or whatever, you know, boom, 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 boom. Send my
and that's
pet in there
to be quite honest with you. That's why I prefer games like Fallout, because any player can play any particular thing that they want to play, and they can kind of move it into whatever direction they want to go. You want to be a tank, be a tank. If you want to be DPS, to be DPS. Obviously, there's a lot of benefit to doing those particular things, but you know, it is what it is. But that's why I prefer first-person shooters like Borderlands, where I can still play with all my friends, but it's just a loot shoot. I run around, I blow up comical characters in a cel-shaded format, and it's hysterical and it's funny most of the time. They do miss the mark sometimes, but not everybody's perfect. Gearbox is still amazing. And 2K Games makes some great stuff. But we don't have this weird thing where you're going to run into some rando. It's going to be like, why aren't you playing this particular class? And you could min-max your character. And it's like, most people don't care. They just want to play because it's fun. And if you want to be competitive, you can pull your friends in and be competitive with them. Right? You can do that type of thing. So, but yeah, very much looking forward to Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Obviously, Final Fantasy Origins is going to be multiplayer as well. And then there's another game on this list that I know you're excited for too, and we've talked about it, and that's the remaster of Saints Row, the remake of Saints Row. They're literally rebooting the franchise. I'm so excited. It's going to be stupid and zany and off the wall, and they're starting at the first one, and they're going to keep the same comical format that they started to develop with 3 and 4. I'm very, very happy for that. If you guys have never played a Saints Row game, good grief, I highly encourage you start with 3, because that's when things just got absolutely out of control. Just, you know, everybody lauds the ragdoll physics from GTA 5, right? And it's funny, you can just hit a button and ragdoll. You literally just do that in Saints Row for fun. Like you just ragdoll. Like you get knocked off a building, ragdoll. You get hit by a car, ragdoll. You get shot, ragdoll. Like it just happens. No special button combination, but they have such zany humor. And then of course you've got the adult novelty toy baseball bat, which is, who doesn't really want to run around a fictional city and beat people to death with a giant marital aid as a baseball bat? That's hysterical to me. That's
now, is it a full size or
no,
is it
100%.
18-inch?
No, it's a full size. Like it's a full on baseball length marital aid, and it's got a handle and everything. And
my brain immediately goes toward what was it? Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Yes, where
the guy beats the guy
to death with the AT, with the big old yes. It is very much like that. But obviously you have finishing moves and ridiculous stuff that just keeps it entertaining. So yeah, if you guys haven't played Saints Row before this game is released and remade, absolutely do yourself a favor, go check it out, because I promise you will be as hyped for the Saints Row reboot as we are.
Burst King.
Yep.
Penetrator for the win.
Yes. That's yes. 100%. You could literally. It was a finisher. You could kill an enemy by inserting it into their rectum, and then pulling the trigger, and they would flail about and perish.
Yeah, that and fart in a jar.
They would, yes, they would unalive very quickly, and it was hysterical. And that was, I'm pretty sure that was a grenade. It was fart in a jar, and it just made people sick. Like it, it's the most ridiculous, juvenile. I mean, you have to remember, anybody that's been with this show and been with this particular podcast and us for a very long time understands our love of juvenile humor.
Mm-hmm.
We literally built Jeffafa and Tenacious T and even, Mad Mike, God rest his soul, built an entire podcast on dick and fart jokes.
Yes.
Like we absolutely love that type of humor. So for that to come out, Sonny would appreciate it as well. It's just a great game overall. I'm very much looking forward to it. So yeah, but that's all I gotta say about Saints Row. I've hyped it enough. They're not paying me, so if they, hey guys, Rockstar, if you want, not Rockstar.
Easy for you to say.
It's not, not Rockstar. Brain totally farted. Rockstar is GTA 5, but Rockstar too. If you guys want to pay me, I'll hype your games. Other than the new trilogy you guys released, it was terrible. Dying Light 2 is another one that's coming out that I'm jazzed for. The first one was really fun to play. It was great to get together with your friends, survive the zombie apocalypse. Zombie apocalypse. I don't quote that, but
zombie two-pacalypse.
Zombie two-pacalypse.
Now back to the
hold back to the mix. By the way, you guys should check that out. Themixx.online. If you guys love any type of hip hop, R&B mixes, things like that, you guys absolutely love this channel. I promise. But now I kind of want to make a cartoon of the two-pacalypse because I think it would be hysterical. Like just literally, everybody they come back as Tupac, right? All eyes on me. Like it'd be hysterical.
That would be a game you could like turn around and just
cheat mode, Tupacalypse.
Yeah, so like you
game developers, are you listening?
You do a code or whatever, and you set the cheat for Tupacalypse, and then
internet.
You hear the zombies.
I'm looking at you.
As the zombies get up, instead of the
it starts playing Tupac music.
You just hear all eyes on me.
Yeah, just like random Tupac quotes. I would love it. So, modders, game developers, internet, look at me.
From around the corner.
Look at me. Okay. I need you guys to do this. I don't care if it's on Fallout, if it's on GTA, if it's on freaking Happy Wheels. I don't care how you do it. I need you to make a mod that is Tupacalypse, and it would be the funniest thing ever, and you will be a legend. Just remember that.
I'd actually pay for that day. I'd pay for that DLC.
I would pay for that DLC 100% in a heartbeat. It'd be the funniest thing ever. It's like the big head DK mode from GoldenEye. Just stupid, absolutely not even worth the effort it takes to get it, but it's funny to have.
I miss those days. Not to
shift. No, you're fine. When
days
cheats were available,
when like Doom.
Yeah.
To date myself, like Quake, and where you had like Homer Simpson running around with a those days of like Quake Arena style games with like big head and all of the fun, like, oh well, I downloaded this cool mod. Now I'm Homer Simpson, or that's
something I think Call of Duty does wrong because they're all about guns, right? Oh, you get new guns, you get gun skins, man, screw all that, dude. One of the most fun memories I could ever recall in my youth was GoldenEye 007, and it was slappers only. It was the stupidest thing available, but it was hilarious. And no odd job, slappers only, no odd job, right?
Yeah,
it was so dumb.
Like no golden gun, no odd job.
Easy peasy, right? And there was a golden gun on every level, so all you had to do was disable it. And oh my god, it was almost like Rare was like, I wonder if we should give everybody the option to create the world that they want to play in. Literally the last great Exodus, and then Perfect Dark did it, and that was great. But it was literally the last great, not Exodus. What's Genesis? The greatest Genesis of gaming was when they gave us the ability to create the arena we wanted to kill our friends in.
See, you liked that side of things. What I thought was amazing was when Neverwinter Nights gave you the ability to create your own stories, and you're basically making your own video game. You can package it send it to your friends, play it as a LAN, and everything you scripted out. I
Would happen.
literally ran D&D games
Using Neverwinter Nights engines. Yeah, 100%.
It was like, hey, we can't get together to sit down and play the game, but we can hop online, LAN, and play this one, or hop online and play this one thing, and I could play along with it. I know everything, so I'd take a side character, let them run,
And it was awesome.
and
that's what I'm saying. Like it was so amazingly fun, which is why games like Super Mario Maker 2 and Super Mario Maker, that's why those games are so ridiculously popular. That's why people like playing them so much. Is it gives and it's not even about the narrative or the story. It's literally just you're creating a Mario level. Granted, it's in the 8-bit format, but they also incorporated that you could play Super Mario 3D World, all of that stuff. They allowed you to create levels for that. That's super cool. And really creative people, like you found out very, very quickly how many creative people are out there. So,
what has Rare been up to since the Kinect died?
So, not a lot. Unfortunately, Rare Studios is one of those that kind of got lost in the mire of the Xbox pickup. Because they became a Microsoft exclusive, they lost, I don't know. It almost became a corporate. I feel like they became a corporate entity versus a creative one. And don't get me wrong, Rare is responsible for some really terrible games on the NES and even the Super NES. Like they made some bad stuff, but those failures are completely overshadowed by games like Donkey Kong Country, Perfect Dark, GoldenEye, all of the great things that they created past those failures. And then Banjo-Kazooie, Conker's Bad Fur Day, for crying out loud. Like if nobody played that, that's so great. And then they revitalized it and they released it on the Xbox, and it was like, I don't know, it didn't have the same appeal because the thing about Conker's Bad Fur Day, for instance, it was funny because kids were playing it. I'm going to be real honest. It was marketed to 12-year-olds. And that's why it was funny, is because parents, it was during the whole MPAA nonsense when parents were like, oh, my kid it's just a video game. How bad can it be? And there's literally Conker pissing on people. Like, apparently it can be really, really bad. But yeah, ever since the Microsoft acquisition, the Banjo 3 or whatever, Banjo-Kazooie 3, I think it was an overall success, but of course it didn't achieve the blockbuster sales that the original Banjo games did. And then I think they remade Perfect Dark, and it was fun, but it wasn't phenomenal. So Rare's inclusion into the Microsoft family, while we all kind of thought that would be a really cool thing for them to be able to play those particular games and be able to be a part of that and market those games to a wider audience, especially more mature audience, where they could be, new Perfect Dark and they could remake Conker and do all these great things, ultimately ended up being a failure because they limited their market so greatly by signing to one company, which is, again, that part of my fear with the Bethesda acquisition. I genuinely, Bethesda, and now with Activision Blizzard, and we'll get to that in a second, but that's part of my fear with that is whenever these large companies like Microsoft or Sony or even Nintendo, when they grab these video game developers who are allowed to kind of operate on their own and make great games, indie developers, for instance, those are some of the most fantastic games, for crying out loud. Valheim was phenomenal. It was amazing.
I know where you're going with this.
But anyways, I'm done. It's fine. Yeah. We're way off topic this one. I digress.
What I was saying is that's when the market comes in, because they start making games that they don't want to make. They stop working for that Kojima and go out and make their own game, their own stuff somewhere else.
And a la Death Stranding was fine, but could have been, and granted, it's fine and it's played in smaller circles because it didn't have the market push that a game like Metal Gear Solid would have. It didn't have a giant company pushing it.
Right.
And I think that's something that gets a little bit lost too. And that's a developer's biggest success, is being able to say, our product is being pushed by Microsoft. But if nobody wants your product, it doesn't matter.
But that doesn't matter now that you have the Epic Store picking up third-party stuff.
Finally.
You have Steam picking up, you can find stuff that you never ever thought you could find, and it's available on Steam.
Sure, and
You know,
and that's
those
and
are the
which makes it
platforms,
great.
you know, Origins, which leads me into why I think EA should eat a giant
Big bowl of dicks. I mean, we're going for full demonetization at this point, dude. Let's just do it. You know what? This will be the one video that we get like 40,000 views on, and we can't get a dime off of because YouTube's like, you guys said the D word there or something
You
ridiculous.
know, they can suck on an 18-inch black rubber cock.
Are you talking about YouTube?
EA.
Or
Yes. No. EA. So
sorry, Twitch.
those who are watched some of the stuff before knows that I recently had my account banned.
And he had his account banned because he dared to hold them accountable and say, I want my money back for this game you sold me that does not work when you told me it would work. And this was after how many days? Was it 6 or 7 days of you trying everything imaginable to make it work?
Literally the first day I got it, because it's the Sinking City.
Yeah.
Like, it's a Lovecraftian game. It's very Call of Cthulhu-ish. I love those settings. I love that. I've been wanting this game. I finally popped it up. I was like, $36. I'll just go ahead and get it. So I get it. I read the requirements. I am above the requirements on everything.
Oh, see, that was your problem.
You know,
You were too good.
So I go to try to play it,
which is a real thing for all you PC fans out there. That
it doesn't work. So I go to another computer. I download it on it. I install it. I get it and have the same exact problem. I spend 8 hours with this person to, and I'm disabling this and doing that and setting it for this, running it as administrator and setting it for compatibility mode and doing all of the stuff that I'm following all this stuff, and none of it is working.
No.
And it literally 8 hours the first day. I did 6 hours the second day trying. The third day I did 3, and it was like, I just want my money back. I've literally not been able to play this game. I've been on the phone with you so much that my phone has died 3 times and I've had to plug it in. Why just give me my money back? Well, it's not an EA game, so we can't give it back to you. I'm like, but you sold it. It's on your marketplace. Well, we're not responsible for it. You it's not an EA game. I'm like, but I was talking to EA people about how to get it to work. Like, well, yeah, we were communicating with the support team for the other whatever.
Right.
So, trying to walk you through it, and I was like, it didn't work on the monster computer that I built that can hack NASA. It doesn't. It didn't work.
We've done it.
Doesn't work for the computer that's the mid-grade computer. Doesn't work on a low computer. Doesn't work on a laptop. Doesn't work on it. And I ran through all of the list of stuff that it doesn't work on. And I was like, I just want my money back.
Yeah.
And after arguing with me for a week, I finally just contacted PayPal and said, they're refusing to give me my money back. The game that I purchased off of their store didn't work, and they said that they're not responsible for refunds.
Yeah. And
PayPal sided with me. They said that actually is a bad practice. As soon as they gave me my money back, EA banned my account. With 27 games that I did pay for, that did run, that I played a lot, which now blocks me out of playing anything on the Game Pass. It blocks me out of
because you have to have is it not Origins?
The EA, it's the EA beta desktop app. So like if I wanted to play Battlefield 5 or whatever,
1942 or whatever. Yeah.
Like I literally could not. I can't access the stuff. Like it goes to install and it says error, boom, and it locks me completely out of.
Which moral of the story? Anything. Moral of the story is EA.
They owe me
thousands of dollars. First of all, let's just start there.
Yeah, well, no, because for every game that I
$500,000,
every game that I purchased, they owe me for, because I'm not able to play what I.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you punishing me for you having bad stuff by taking away your other stuff that was already being.
Yep, and no way to retrieve. Which, by the way, is the problem with platforms like Steam. Is all of your games run through the Steam engine. But the coolness is a lot of these games will operate outside of the Steam environment. So once they're installed on your computer, you do own the game, things like this. So there's a little bit of a difference there between the EA servers where you actually have to log into EA to play the game, which is stupid. But it's marketed practice because they want you to have to pay them and acknowledge them. It's almost like, I don't know, it's like this weird narcissism thing with the EA. And honestly, they can eat a big bowl of dicks. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, EA. I don't care if you guys are watching this video or if somebody out there is an EA executive and is like, oh, I was thinking about giving you guys a sponsorship, but guess not. Stick your sponsorship straight up your ass. I will never take a dime from you. Ever.
How about give me back my account that you fucking took away yeah,
there you go.
And give me access to the games that I had paid for.
This, by the way, this is for my Scottish friend. So he'll know exactly what I'm doing to EA right now. Just give it to him. Give it to him, baby. Anyway.
It's so frustrating.
It is. And that's one of those things too, is like there could be an entire rant segment on the horrific things that EA has done.
Well, you gotta figure.
And I like some EA games. Like that's the worst of it.
No,
that's
the thing is, like,
it's the worst of it.
Because before the Call of Duty multiplayer, or whatever, you had Battlefield, like Battlefield 1942, Battlefield Vietnam, and those type of games. And those were fun.
Didn't you want to know why I never talk about Madden? Nobody's like, no, because EA's garbage. It's literally a garbage franchise. And this is no disrespect to John Madden. God rest his soul. Rest in peace, man. You were one of the best. But the Madden series from EA had nothing to even do with him after like 1998. It just became this money grabbing, let's just update the names and not actually fix any of the mechanics of the game. And it's absolutely deplorable. That is an absolutely horrific practice. Why would you do that? But people just keep funneling money in because they're like, oh, I need the new Madden. I knew the new. Dude, I had fun playing Madden 08 until like 2014.
I will tell you that I have not really played. I mean, I played, but I never really played a whole lot after Technoble. In which,
I'm sorry, big yawn. Tecmo Bowl is one of the greatest games ever made.
Which Barry Sanders is the GOAT.
Walter Payton.
I don't know. Sanders, like I literally ran it back.
Turned around and then came all the way back. Yeah, you can do that with Payton, with Walter Payton too. Yeah, it's phenomenal. But to jump back on it, because I only got through 3.5 games. But
sorry,
no, it's okay. Big tangents, man. Lots of changes, lots of things going on, and especially with the EA thing, I was like, no, we could go all night. Like, I have to shut this down. I have to because Dying Light 2, Stay Human. That's also coming out in March. March is gonna be a busy month. But Dying Light 2, or no, that might be February. Actually, I think that is. I think Dying Light 2 is February. But that one's coming out, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun too, because that's another one of the big multiplayer games. You guys getting a theme here. I love these multiplayer interactive games. They're very fun to play. And then the one that I'm skeptical about, but my God, if it's done correctly, it's going to be so fun. And that's Starfield from Bethesda. Starfield is coming out in, I believe it's November of 2022. And if it's done correctly, I think it's going to be Fallout in space, but hopefully not Fallout 76 in space. I love 76. I love all the guys I play with. I love all the girls I play. Please don't give me Fallout 76 in space. Please.
Now you like playing it.
Like, no, I liked playing it then. I liked it when it first came out. I enjoyed it. I was not big on the multiplayer experience. I thought I was just going to be able to play with my friends, a la Borderlands. But that became not the thing, and it became this weird dick measuring contest in the very beginning. And I'm like, this is pretty stupid. But I managed. I played the majority of the campaign on a private server by myself, and I'd invite my friends and we'd all play together, and that's when I had fun.
Yeah, well, no, and until people like me can't get on the Bethesda.net and link their Xbox account, so we can actually play while I'm on the PC.
I'm gonna have to fire up the old Xbox. Is what's gonna end up having to happen. I'm gonna have to.
Well, no, like I see, I can't even because I'm playing it on the PC. I have it on the Series S, but I know I bumped it. That thick
thick gong noise.
But so I have it on the Series S, but it doesn't connect because the accounts are separate, because that one actually runs through Bethesda.
Yeah,
I could do whatever, but I can't do with the PC. The PC won't connect. It's frustrating.
it's so frustrating.
All I want is stuff to work right.
But Bethesda has the potential, I think, and hopefully maybe with some guidance from Microsoft, and Todd Howard's not going to be as involved. Although the majority of the game is already completed, so I think this happened before the acquisition. However, it is a Series S /X PC only, which means that PlayStation subscribers are not going to be able to do this. So this is going to be a game that I'll be playing primarily on the PC, which will be new for me since I hate first-person shooters on the PC. I cannot stand them, like, at all. I'm going to get the controller, but it's one of those things where I've invested much.
Sonny was the same way. He really, he played certain things on the console and he played certain things on the PC.
Right. Strategy games, perfect. RPG's fine. Even adventure games, fine.
He liked the controller because I have one of the Xbox style controllers, but you can get the PlayStation style controller, USB, plug it in, and just
and you can map the buttons where you want them and all kinds of stuff. No, I completely understand.
Well, it comes pre-mapped, so it reads what controller it is. And
does
gives
it?
You that option. Most of the new games now.
Okay. See, and this is the thing. It's like, I'm not a part of the master race, right? I don't know all that. I don't do all that.
That's why I said
I understand there's a functionality behind it. I could tell you, you can plug your controller and it'll work, right? And that's about as far as my knowledge goes with it. I know you can map the buttons. I do know that. I do know it's a lot of fun. People love to play first-person shooters on the PC, and primarily a lot of the better players are on PC. But I will say there's a reason that MLG Games and those MLG gamers, or MLG, is not on PC. Because it's not as fun.
I will tell you that you're gonna think it's bullshit.
Funny. It's a little strange.
that it's bullshit. It is easier to play first-person shooter games on the PC. You have finer control.
No, I believe
this than this.
I believe you.
So when you get like the 360 no scopes, it's probably somebody on the computer who doesn't do it with a cheat. The guys who.
I mean, I could pull 360 no scopes with a controller. It's just a sensitivity issue,
right?
I mean, honest to God, that's all it was. It was learning how to deal with maximum sensitivity. And I keep putting my hand in front of the camera guys because I'm used to it being in front of me, like over here. But so now it's like, but no, it's just a matter of like learning how to deal with the maximum. Are you okay? Were we about to have a repeat? Only this time it wasn't the mic, it was you.
Yeah, no, like the chair went click.
But no, it's that's all it was just learning how to deal with that.
About to play a game of whack fuck over here.
No kidding. And it would have been live, and it'd be even better. But no, being able to perform, certain tricks and being able to utilize the PC to its maximum capability, it's a fun experience. And I have played first-person. Like, I don't make this assessment based on never playing them on PC. And even games like Fallout, I don't really qualify those as like they are first-person shooters, but they're more of the action adventure first-person shooter type of game where I'm basically just piloting a flesh shoot, and then I'm clicking on things, right? So it's not nonstop.
See, that's a game that I have the harder time being in first-person mode.
I can't stand third-person games for the most part. Like Valheim took me forever.
I have to be off my shoulder.
Yeah, I can't do that. It drives me insane.
Except for when I'm shooting, then I'll click into first person and I'm aiming and shooting.
See, that's too many steps.
But I have to be able to. Well, that's literally a click of the middle mouse button. But so like, if I'm running around looking for something, I'm out so I can see more. But then that kicks your reticle off to the side a little bit when you go to shoot. So click it into first person and boom, 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 boom.
What was
Runaway?
Max Payne was one of the third-person shooter games. There was another one.
Max Payne, that was the one with the bullet stop.
The bullet time. Yeah, that was so fun. That was amazing.
You adjust slow down time.
We didn't really get into the Activision stuff too much. Activision Blizzard, obviously that acquisition is going through, Microsoft is finalizing that purchase. Ravensoft Studios failed in their bid to unionize. Most of us pretty much saw that coming.
Well, no, they wanted to, they pushed to be recognized, and they were told no,
Yeah,
we
basically.
don't recognize you.
Yeah.
Which
That's what I said. It's just not
90
those precise words.
Well, I mean, because they can still fight and argue and push into recognition
point,
and
though?
do all that stuff. But the idea was, when I was saying how much is a thorn in, like, with that coming up literally at the time of, right after the acquisition, how much is that going to put in? That's why Activision said no, is because it was quite literally a speed bump in the ability for them to get out of owning this company.
I just dropped FU money on this company. Believe me when I tell you, I can rehire your entire team in less than 2 minutes.
Right, but I'm saying it was Activision telling them no. It wasn't Microsoft.
No, I get it.
But so Activision was like, the ownership of Activision was like, we need to make this as simple as possible. They're cocking stuff up. No, sit down, wait a year. Things will be different in a year.
Right. Which is fine. And they may do it again, or in the next year, quality control might just be millions of gamers beta testing everything.
What's funny is
for free.
I actually on TikTok follow one of the Activision guys.
Yeah.
And his last stream, because
is this one of those Nintendo stories from back in the day? My dad works at Nintendo, and he told me this is the cheat code for blood on Mortal Kombat.
No.
Okay.
He well, no, because he streams and stuff, whatever, on Twitch, and then he works for Activision. And because in the parking lot, he's like, shows you the building. He goes in and
sure,
I
believe you. I'm breaking your balls. Yeah.
But his last thing was like, okay, so guys, sorry I've ghosted you for the last couple of days with no content, but I got laid off.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow. So they're already cutting people out, and I mean, it's the price of doing business. Speaking of Royal Rumble, or speaking of WWE, the Royal Rumble's going on. If anybody cared, I don't. Not particularly. Ronda Rousey's going to win the women's Royal Rumble. There, I spoiled it.
Oh, she's wrestling now.
I guess she's probably a surprise entrant in the women's Royal Rumble. I don't know. I haven't even watched it. I haven't even paid any attention to it whatsoever. I literally ran across that rumor, and now I'm spoiling it for everybody. I've been AEW for life, brah.
So you made the jump too?
Oh yeah, I made the jump last year. Like, realistically speaking, like, I kept up on WWE because wrestling's wrestling. I don't feel like you should have to choose between the two, but if I had to, I know where I'd go. So,
well, it's funny you mentioned that, because as I was going through the long list of thousands and thousands of songs,
yeah,
the Degeneration X song was in the list. That's how long ago I started collecting.
Wow.
You
got that from WWE, the album Volume 1. Like, that's
it was WWF back then.
WWF the volume. Oh my God. WWF the music Volume 1. Yeah.
Because you remember Road Dogg would come out with the ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. WWF proudly presents half of us tag team champions of the world.
The badass Billy Gunn, the Road Dogg, Jesse James. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. I saw them live, so actually when they came back and did their thing, that was pretty fun. But anyways,
I didn't realize that Road Dogg actually got accepted into the
Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That seemed early.
Billy Gunn did not, because Billy Gunn jumped ship. Billy Gunn's working for the competition, so all right, work for the competition. You can't be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, what's funny is, like, he gets in right. I think it was either before or like right after an 80s wrestler got in. With Jake the Snake.
Dude, their WWE selection, the Hall of Fame selection process is like the most bizarre thing. It's like, it's honest to God. It's like, what names can we say out loud that'll get a bunch of pop this year? That's honestly, I swear that's how they do it. Like, they have like their legends, then they have like the modern, and then they're like, okay, let's go through Attitude Era, and then like, what name's going to get a bunch of pop? Like The Rock, I don't think has been, no, I think he has been inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame, but like, Even if he hasn't.
But he's still wrestling. I thought it was for people who weren't wrestling anymore.
No, because Ric Flair was in the Hall of Fame and literally wrestled Shawn Michaels the next day.
Right, but that
at
was
WrestleMania.
Right, but that was his going out match.
Yeah, but my point is that doesn't seem to be a precursor to anything. Like, it's just a matter of that's that. But no, I don't believe they have to be retired in order to be in the Hall of Fame. I think I think it just makes more sense for them. I'm not sure, to be quite honest with you. I don't know their qualification process because they don't tell anybody. It's just like whatever name gets the most pop that particular year is the one who gets in. Like, for crying out loud, Macho Man he might have gotten in last year, but I don't remember. I don't even remember. Like, I couldn't even tell you who's in it anymore because it's just a random hodgepodge of these people got in. He should have already been in. The fact that I even have to sit here and think about, is he actually in now? That just tells you how stupid their process is. Like, Pete Rose should be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. I'm done. I'm done with this gambling nonsense. The gambling is literally legal now.
Well, the fact that with Rose, the fact that he never actually threw a game, he always bet on himself to win.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, Jordan would drop mad money on gambling.
Yeah.
And when it came
what boxer got they literally gambled some kind of boxing match, like, and it was like on themselves. They literally bet on themselves to win.
I mean, if you're betting on yourself to win, that means you're going to go and play, whatever.
I mean, I could understand the pretenses behind it. Like, I could understand how it could look bad because let's say I'm betting on myself to win and I'm 1,000 to 1 long shot, right? But I put $1,500 on myself. Okay, we're talking an absolute mind crushing amount of money for me. But let's say I put $1 million on myself. Okay, now we're talking about damn near $1 billion payout.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that would never happen, but let's just use funny numbers here because, to stay away from any particular group. And then I look at you, my opponent, and I say, hey, I just bet $1 billion on myself. Your fight purse is $120,000. How about I give you $50 million?
So you're going to Jake Paul it.
I give you $50 million to throw the fight. I give you $50 million hard cash right after the fight is over.
Did you see the video? Where he
telegraphed it. Yep.
He's like,
he goes like this, and the dude dropped his arm. Yeah, dropped his hand. Yeah, 100%. But that's the other thing too, is that is so hard to orchestrate, especially in the middle of a fight. I don't know how real that might be, but it is possible. And to be quite honest, the fact that he hasn't lost yet is weird to me. I'm like, surely that one of these boxers could have gotten luck. There's no way he's knockout proof. Right. No one is knockout proof. Tyson got knocked out, for crying out loud. Tyson has been knocked out. People forget this. Tyson has lost. Mm-hmm. He's one of the greatest. Evander Holyfield has lost. Oscar De La Hoya has lost. These dudes are not knockout proof. No one is. Takes one good punch, one lucky strike, not the smoky kind, before they demonetize us for that. But yeah, so it's just a matter of things. Anyways,
this is like the first time in the history of this show that we actually went on a sports tangent.
Huh.
And I was actually able to stay into the conversation the whole time. I'm not a sports guy.
Because we positioned it like gaming. That's why. Because gambling is a type of gaming.
Right.
It is it's regulated by the Gaming Commission.
And if you have a neighbor that is irritated that you have people coming over to your house, mm-hmm. and gaming is illegal, like gambling is illegal.
That's right.
And they know you have a D&D game, they will call the cops
and tell them you're gambling.
And you say they're at the house gaming.
Mm-hmm.
And then the cops will show up to break up the card game or whatever, and then when you're sitting there rolling dice and doing whatever, they're like,
or you get swatted. What? Because people are dicks.
Like somebody has twice.
Yeah. But yeah, so I really don't have a lot more to talk about it. Like they said, we just want to talk about the Activision thing, go on that little EA tangent, talk about some games that we're looking forward to. Mm-hmm. Hopefully you guys out there are having a great Saturday night. I appreciate everybody that stuck around with us through the entirety of the show. Those of you who popped in and left, we appreciate your patronage too. But guys, I would be remiss if I did not mention our incredible sponsors, Rutledge Productions. Thank you very, very much to all the guys over there at Rutledge Productions for sponsoring us and continuing to give us life in this absolute barren wasteland of bullcrap that we have to deal with called YouTube. We appreciate you guys very much. And of course, always go check out geekpublicradio.com, where you can consider becoming a member, where you get access to backstage stuff like the flubs and F-ups that we constantly have on this show, because believe me, they happen a lot. Not usually during our live broadcast. We're pretty good about that, but there's a lot of stuff on there that's behind the scenes that we haven't we don't and can't show on air. Conversations up to and including our only friends account that we have. So that's something if you're interested in. Big old sexy Topher. But yeah, you guys can check all that stuff out. And of course, you get access to an incredible video library of all the different IPs that we've picked up over the years that you guys can watch. It's a streaming service. So it's absolutely worth a look. And while you're at that, getting your membership to geekpublicradio.com, you can then turn around and use a coupon for daysandnightsbooks.com, where you can get 10% off your purchase. So it's absolutely worth a look. So you can pick up all of your gaming accessories. You can pick up your dice towers, your game books, miniatures, all kinds of crazy stuff, right? Dice trays. And a lot of them are actually handcrafted, homemade, things like that. So not only are you helping out a local bookstore, and it's online, so I mean, it's national too, but you're helping out local builders and things like that, and local artisans.
Artisans.
Thank you. Artisans. Helping them build their craft. You're helping us to grow the station and things like that. So we very much appreciate Days and Nights Books for sponsoring us. You guys are absolutely amazing. And proud to present the Geek Public Radio publishing of the Black Book. Make sure you guys go to blackbookmovie.com and you can check out the amazing movie that Topher produced and wrote most of, based off of stories from Angelica R. Hill, Stuart Wall, and Joe Herbert, and of course Topher himself. That is available for you to purchase on the blackbookmovie.com. You can find the Blu-ray, the DVD, you can find the book itself, and of course, if you would love to listen to my voice in many different accents, which is why I said at the very beginning of the show that I have like 38 different voices that I can use, and I used every single freaking one of them in that Audible. You guys can check that out on that website. And then, of course, while you're doing that, make sure you go to blackbookcomic.com, where you can check out the latest and greatest creation from the mind of Topher himself, the award-winning producer. He is archaeologist and writer. He's an amazing human being, and he decided, hey, you know what would be really cool? Let's expand the Black Book mythos by making a comic book. And of course, as a nerd, I jumped up and said, yes! How do we do it? And then he said, like this. And he sourced out a bunch of kick-ass artists from across the world to help pen and ink this really cool story that he's telling. And then we basically had the idea, hey, what would happen if an innocent discovered the book? Would it trap their soul? Would it affect their life? Would it do bad things to them? Because the owner of the book, the reader of the book, gets what they deserve. So absolutely interesting to further the story of the bookseller, introducing new characters, new plots all along the way. The first book is almost completely finished. We just need help with the other three, or the other two. There are three. I was right. Yeah, I was right the first time. Dang it. So yeah, you guys can check that out, blackbookcomic.com. And then I think that's it. I think I got through all of them. Done. Did I miss one?
Yep.
Of course. Okay. Guys, we are launching a branding recognition thing. So if you liked all of that I just did for Black Book, Rutledge, Days and Nights Books, check us out on Bearded Branding, man. If you think my voice is hot, wait till I'm doing a commercial for you. Wait till I'm doing something spectacular for you over at beardedbranding.com. We are building websites. We are helping people get their product out there. We're talking about musical artists. We're talking about actual artists. We're talking about actors, voice actors, whatever your craft is. We can help develop a plot and a plan for you to make that business succeed. So check us out at beardedbranding.com. We will be launching that website very soon. We've had some things that we've been trying to get finished with it. A little bit more hiccups than we thought were going to happen. And of course, Topher had his surgery. So things got pushed back a little bit further than we thought. But Bearded Branding will be launching very, very soon. We've already got several artists that are up and coming that we're going to be featuring on the Bearded Branding website. And you guys can check out their stuff. But yeah, we will absolutely help promote you. So if you would like help getting your product out there, It's really easy to do. Just go to beardedbranding.com, follow the very simple instructions, petition us, let us know what you want. We can help build you a package and find exactly what fits right for you. We have packages ranging anywhere from X money to X money or Y money. Each one of them offers a different tier thing, up to and including a full commercial. So there are all kinds of things that are available
up
to you.
to including a
music video,
full music
video. I know what I meant. So we can actually do a music video for it too. So make sure you check us out, beardedbranding.com. That is my beautiful mug smiling at you from that band. So make sure you check it out. And then, of course, big, huge special thanks and shout out to you, Mr. Jonathan Ferguson. Thank you so very much. You are absolutely a kick-ass DJ. We really appreciate everything that you've done, sir. And happy birthday to you, my friend. You are the shout out of the week. We appreciate your patronage. We appreciate you shouting us out, sharing the videos, and doing all those cool and crazy things. So, John Ferguson, thank you very much, sir, and have a happy birthday. And all for the rest of our fans out there, the typical ones, guys, you know who you are. I love you very much. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you guys stopping in and sticking around with us. Whew. So, sorry about that, it was super loud. From the Geek Public Radio Studios, I have been Crazy Chris.
I am Topher.
And you guys have been our phenomenal, absolutely amazing watchers. Guys, after 5 years, you'd figure out to have this right. Thank you guys so much for everything that you do. Have yourselves a good night. Peace.
You've been listening to the GPR podcast, where two old guys talk about talk about new games, movies, most things geeky, and try not to poop in their diapers while they're talking. Thanks for listening to the show. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, find us on Twitter at Free Geek Radio, on Facebook and Instagram at Geek Public Radio, and the website geekpublicradio.com. We'll see you next time.